Candace Cameron Bure may be the queen of Christmas, but she still ended up on the naughty list time and time again. Just ask her former Hallmark Channel co-stars. Candace Cameron Bure and Raven-Symoné clashed frequently when they appeared together on The View, due to Bure's conservative views and Raven-Symoné being an out lesbian. That opposition came into focus during a 2015 episode when the panel discussed an Oregon bakery that refused to make a wedding cake for a same-sex couple. Raven-Symoné described the bakery's stance as straight-out discrimination, but Bure disagreed.
This is about freedom of association. It's about constitutional rights. It's about First Amendment rights. We do have the right to still choose who we associate with.
Raven-Symoné then fired back, saying, "I refuse to associate myself with you right now." Bure stated that the bakery owners had no problem with the couple, but objected to their same-sex wedding ceremony because it conflicted with their religious beliefs, feeling that marriage should only be between a man and a woman. Not surprisingly, Bure would later reveal that she shared that view, which would lead to further controversy. Back in 2017, Bure posted a photo of herself on Instagram, attired in a t-shirt bearing the phrase, "Not today, Satan." She may or may not have been aware that the phrase had been extensively merchandised by Bianca Del Rio, who won the 6th season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Not today, Satan.
The flamboyant drag queen, who also goes by Roy Haylock, wasn't having it and issued a scathing response, reposting the photo with the caption, "If only this homophobic Republican knew." Bure later responded to Del Rio, writing, "Why do you have to be nasty to me? You don't know me or my heart. I'm not homophobic. Loving Jesus doesn't mean I hate gay people or anyone. You sent a bunch of hateful people to my page writing horrible things." Ironically, in 2020, Candace Cameron Bure was struck with backlash over concerns that she wasn't being conservative enough. The issue at hand was a photo that she'd posted on Instagram, featuring her posing with her husband, Valerie Bure, who had his arm wrapped around his wife's shoulder, with the palm of his hand resting upon one of her breasts. Candace was slammed by her social media followers, who deemed the couple's display of PDA to be, at best, sending a bad message, or, at worst, downright immoral. She initially removed the offending photo, but then reposted it to Instagram stories, along with a rebuke for those who attacked her. "For all of the Christians that are questioning my post with my husband's hand on my boob, my husband of 24 years, thinking it was inappropriate, it makes me laugh because it's my husband. We have so much fun together. He can touch me anytime he wants, and I hope he does. This is what a healthy, good marriage and relationship is all about." Over the years, it's become something of a grim observation that whenever a horrific mass shooting occurs in the U.S., politicians who oppose gun control legislation will typically respond by sending their thoughts and prayers to the loved ones of the victims. That was at the heart of an Instagram post issued by actor Kristen Bell when she congratulated Dick's Sporting Goods for making the move to raise the age limit to 21 in order to purchase firearms. She wrote, "Here's an example of something better than thoughts and prayers. Bravo, Dick's Sporting Goods, for your common sense, humanity, open ears, and willingness to change. We need more corporations like you." Dick's Sporting Goods had explicitly referenced thoughts and prayers in their announcement, hence Bell's comment. But for some reason, Bure still took issue with Bell, complaining, "How about instead of diminishing prayers, which are powerful, you recaption, 'In addition to prayers, here is something really great.'" Bell did not respond to Bure's comment. Candace Cameron Bure experienced what was arguably her strangest controversy in 2021 when she took to TikTok to share a video that she apparently intended to be spiritually inspirational. In that video, which she later deleted, Bure lip-synced to "Jealous Girl" from singer Lana Del Rey as she brandished a Bible. A caption read, "When they don't know the power of the Holy Spirit." Bure was deluged with comments from those who were appalled by what they'd just witnessed, with one commenter writing, "The Holy Spirit isn't seductive. What is this?" Another disgruntled fan of the Holy Spirit wrote, "Sensualizing your belief in the Holy Spirit? Kinda missing the mark here." Bure quickly responded via Instagram stories.
I usually don't apologize for these things, but a lot of you thought it was weird, and I'm sorry, that was not my intention.
She went on to add, "So many of you thought that I was trying to be seductive, which clearly means I'm not a very good actress because I was trying to be strong, not sexy or seductive." Candace Cameron Bure spearheaded efforts to revive Full House, resulting in Netflix picking up the spin-off series Fuller House. In 2018, a new character was introduced, Casey. Played by Miss Benny, Casey was the first gay character to appear in the Full House franchise. but she only stuck around for 2 episodes, never to be seen again. In 2023, Miss Benny alleged on TikTok that the character had been intended to recur throughout the series but faced opposition from someone on the show. She said, "I remember I got sat down by the writers in the studio to basically warn me how this person allegedly was trying to get the character removed and not have a queer character on the show." Miss Benny did not exactly name names, but Bure was mentioned in the caption and hashtags. Bure later denied she had anything to do with Miss Benny's ouster, saying in a statement, "I never asked Miss Benny's character to be removed from Fuller House and did not ask the writers, producers, or studio executives to not have queer characters on the show." During the 2019 holiday season, Hallmark Channel yanked a scheduled TV commercial featuring a same-sex couple. The backlash was so severe that the network's head honcho, Bill Abbott, was replaced. Since then, Hallmark Channel has increased efforts to add more diversity to its programming, debuting 2 Christmas movies with gay couples in 2023. Abbott then formed GAC Media and launched the Great American Family Network, which features Hallmark-style programming with a more conservative bent. They even poached numerous Hallmark stars, including Bure. In April 2022, Variety reported that Bure, who'd churned out so many Hallmark holiday movies she earned the nickname the Queen of Christmas, had cut ties with Hallmark and joined GAC Media, installed as GAC's chief creative officer. Speaking with the Wall Street Journal later that year, Bure implied that the reason she left Hallmark for GAC was because of Hallmark's foray into gay-friendly programming, saying, "I think that Great American Family will keep traditional marriage at the core." Bure's statements were met with furious backlash, forcing Abbott to step in and do damage control. He told Variety, "It's like the disclaimer you see at the end of a movie or a series that says, 'The views reflected here are not necessarily those of the company.' When she speaks on that, she's not speaking on behalf of Great American Media."
It's always been the most important thing personally to me, my faith in Jesus. And now I'm at the point in my life where I want to share that with everyone.
Candace Cameron Bure's comments about traditional marriage set off a firestorm among those who interpreted that phrase as being homophobic. One Tree Hill alum Hillary Burton, who'd appeared in the Hallmark movie Surprised by Love, among others, bashed Bure and her new company in some scathing tweets, writing, "Now they're just openly admitting their bigotry. I called this out years ago when Abbott was at Hallmark. Glad they dumped him. That guy and his network are disgusting. You too, Candy. There is nothing untraditional about same-sex couples." Burton followed that with another tweet, blasting Bure with both barrels. "Bigot. I don't remember Jesus liking hypocrites like Candy. But sure, make your money, honey. You ride that prejudice wave all the way to the bank." 2 days later, Bure responded with a lengthy Instagram post. But rather than take ownership of what she'd said, she instead slammed the media for covering the story. Fellow Hallmark Channel stalwart Holly Robinson Pete also was not impressed by Bure's comments about so-called traditional marriage. In an Instagram post, which has since been deleted, Pete wrote, "There was a time when the words tradition and traditional were used to denigrate others, and to justify discriminatory laws like it wasn't traditional for people to marry interracially." Pete then went on to explain the impact of Bure's words. "So when we hear the words traditional marriage to describe one type of marriage, it belittles the love and commitment that many legally married people have for each other, and it triggers many of us to a time that we remember how the word tradition was cloaked in Christianity, and we were basically told that God didn't want equality for all." Out and proud pop star JoJo Siwa shared an anecdote about meeting Candace Cameron Bure when she was a kid, and it was not pretty. In a 2022 TikTok post, Siwa answered rapid-fire questions from fans. In response to a query about the rudest celebrity she'd ever encountered, she displayed a photo of Bure on her phone. Bure, for her part, said she had no recollection of their meeting, which Siwa explained came on the red carpet when she was 11 years old, with Bure refusing to pose for a photo together. But Siwa later clarified that she held no ill will toward Bure, telling Page 6, "I think it just was an inconvenient time for her. And little 11-year-old me was just so pumped up and so excited. But that doesn't mean she's the worst human ever. It just, it was a rough experience for me." Siwa's mom, Jesselyn Siwa, recalled the incident in an episode of her podcast and wrote on Instagram, "At the end of the day, this story, it's not about a simple photo. It's about how you treat people." It's no secret that Candace Cameron Bure's public image took a huge hit after sharing her views on traditional marriage. While that seems to be an obvious case of people simply not liking her comments, she didn't quite see it that way. From her perspective, the lousy PR she'd received wasn't because of what she'd said, but because she'd been targeted by so-called cancel culture. During a 2023 appearance on the Unapologetic podcast, Bure suggested that the solution was to band together to stamp out cancel culture. Or, in other words, cancel it. Cancel culture is real and it is difficult. I just want to encourage you that you are not the only one, and there are lots of us, and we are always stronger together. When Paris hosted the Summer Olympics in 2024, tradition was broken by holding the opening ceremony on the Seine instead of within a stadium. Reviews for the boldly creative opening were largely positive, with Time describing the spectacle as occasionally weird, wildly ambitious, ultimately wonderful, and extremely French. The ceremony did not receive a rave review from Candace Cameron Bure, however, who was taken aback by a segment that featured drag queens in a tableau featuring the ancient Greek god of wine and festivity, Dionysus. Bure, like some other confused viewers, mistakenly believed the performance was riffing off of Leonardo da Vinci's iconic mural, The Last Supper, something which she found disrespectful. She let her opinion be known in a video she posted to Instagram, explaining that she'd always found the Olympics to be inspiring, until now. So to watch such an incredible and wonderful event that's going to take place over the next 2 weeks, and see the opening ceremony completely blaspheme and mock the Christian faith with their interpretation of The Last Supper, was disgusting. It made me so sad. Bure was seemingly dragged by fellow Full House alum Jodie Sweetin, who commented on an Instagram Stories video about people who'd misunderstood the intent of that part of the ceremony. Tell me you don't know about art or history without telling me you don't know about art or history.